where does the time off in the passcode? We'll do it here. We'll do it here in a second after the cues game. We are live in League City, Texas, and the sign says, so you want to run for office? And that is the question that Scott Presler is asking everyone here tonight on this beautiful evening here along the Gulf Coast here in the great state of Texas. Good evening, everybody. I am Brian Glenn. Thanks for joining us for another live event right here on Right Side Broadcasting. Of course, we just wrapped up 5 days in Orlando, Florida for CPAC 2021, and man, what a packed 5 days that was. We kicked it off with Ted Cruz, all kinds of interviews there. What a great time, and what an inspiration message we heard from the president as well. We'll recap that here in a little bit, but you just watched, if you watched our last stream, we did a sit down with Mike Lindell over at MyPillow, and we really addressed some of the issues over the last 24 hours that have been trending in the news, and we've been some of the messages trending directly to Right Side as well in regards to us muting some audio, some words during the interview with Liz Willis, so we definitely address that issue as well. So if you missed that broadcast, go back and rewatch it. Mike and I once again established the relationship we have with each other, and that we are just trying to protect our media outlet at this point from big tech censorship. So go back and watch that interview. But we are here. Let me step aside, take a look at the crowd. It's just now starting to fill in here at the Civic Center in League City, Texas, and we are excited to see what Scott Presler has in store for us today as he is on this continuous quest to educate the public about getting involved in politics on a local level. And I have said that several times, that it's very important that we all, if you want to change the world, yes, we have the presidency and you can change it there, but you can also change it through on the local level, and that's exactly what Scott intends to do today. Let me see if I can bring in Scott just real quickly to get a quick preview of what we can expect tonight. You just came off a great luncheon yesterday in Beaumont, Texas, where I heard, 250, maybe 300 people showed up?
Well, that's generous. I would say 200 conservatives there. And tonight we're expecting the same. We're still 30 minutes away from the event, and the room is already 1/3 booked. I think that shows that it's winter after a presidential election, and people are fired up, and the grassroots are excited and preparing already for 2022.
Can you give us a little preview of some of the topics you're going to talk about tonight? I know the screen says, so you want to run for office. A lot of people have gotten fired up ever since Trump really got into office back in 2016. They felt like, you know what, I can't make a difference if I'm not a career politician.
I'm going to be talking about, he waits until I put a mint in my mouth. I'm going to be talking about election integrity. I'm going to talk about voter registration, candidate recruitment, and also repealing and replacing elected politicians, both D and R, who are not America first.
Yeah, and we've talked about that before, how if people aren't standing behind this message, it's so popular of putting America first, then you are running the risk of absolutely losing the next election.
That's right. Well, and to be quite frank, the politicians that are currently in office, unless they focus on election integrity, who's to say that they're going to continue to get elected? Are the grassroots going to vote if they believe that their vote doesn't count? Mm-hmm. Or are there going to be shenanigans that prevent them from being able to get reelected? So we're going to discuss those things. I know I need to get mic'd up.
We'll get you mic'd up. Yep.
And I look forward to talking to all of you this evening. We're going to do pre-interviews, post-interviews, and thank you all for tuning in tonight to Right Side Broadcasting.
We certainly appreciate you getting us involved. We'll get you, Bryce is over there, we'll get you behind the camera and get you mic'd up for tonight. And of course, the presentation lasts a little over an hour, and then you're going to take some questions, do some photos, because everyone loves this guy.
Shake hands, babies, pet puppies. We do it all.
We do it all, and of course, we'll talk about today as Texas Independence Day, and what a day that Governor Greg Abbott announced that starting on Wednesday next week, that the mask mandates here in the state have been lifted, and all these businesses that have been shut down for a number of months and limited capacity will now open up fully. That's pretty big.
I've got 3 words. God bless Texas.
There you go.
And who knows, maybe I'll have to move down here since we finally have a governor doing it right, and I'm hoping that that domino effect is going to come into play. Mississippi is doing the same. So if you are a constituent, I want you to write your governors, call your governors, snail mail your governors, and tell them, do what Texas is doing, and let's have freedom, let's have liberty, open our schools, open our businesses, and get us back to 100%.
Yeah, get the economy back open and kids in school. All right, we'll step back behind there. Bryce will get you mic'd up ready for the night. And I've been talking to several people here in the last 30 minutes, and they're excited that we're here. They're big fans of Right Side Broadcasting and all the information that we've been giving them throughout the course of the election season, during the rallies, covering all the behind the scenes stuff, and of course our adventures in Washington, D.C. as well, as we documented just what was going on in that city building up to January 6th and 7th and beyond. And of course we were there on January 20th whenever the inauguration and when President Trump departed from Joint Base Andrews. We were there as well. So thank you to everyone watching. Thank you for the kind comments we've been getting on social media. And I want to reiterate once again that the message that Mike Lindell and I had is really to you, the viewer. We're with you. We appreciate your support and through all of this, not only your kind messages, your prayers, but your financial gifts as well. And when you support mypillow.com and you buy those comfortable pillows and those great Giza sheets and all the fine products they have there, a portion of those proceeds actually goes back to help us. So you're helping Mike Lindell over at MyPillow, and of course you're helping us as well. And he's really, when you think about what he's done, he's one of the first, he might have been one of the first corporate guys here in America to step out of the comfort zone and support this president openly. And we saw exactly what happened when he did that. He got a lot of backlash, not only on social media. The first day he met with candidate Trump, he received a lot of backlash. So we're glad that he is out, fighting for justice, and we definitely want you guys to support his company, because cancel culture is in full effect. And that was the theme of CPAC 21, was all about let's uncancel cancel culture. Let's cancel culture. Let's get rid of it. Let's not suppress people's ideas and views if it differs from one another. And that's exactly what happened with big tech. So we just want to just tell you, the viewer, we understand your frustrations when things happen. We have to mute. We can't dump out a certain coverage to not show certain things. We understand that fully, but we certainly appreciate your understanding that we can't always broadcast every single thing that is said. We don't want to jeopardize this network. And think about this, from day one, folks, we've always been very transparent with you. We've shown you all behind the scenes stuff. We've shown you footage, when the rally started early on back in the days and the networks weren't showing you the large crowds turning out. We were the ones that showed you the crowds. We were the ones that went to the Senate hearings in all the key battleground states. We did all of that and in full coverage. So please just bear with us with that as we kind of navigate these tricky waters here. But we're glad you're joining us tonight. We are live here in League City, Texas. Get ready for Scott Presler. And if you've ever thought about getting into politics, which I think back in 2016, I think Donald Trump really opened up the door for a lot of non-politicians that thought, you know what, I want to change the world. I want to go out there and make a difference. And of course, that's exactly what he's done for 4 years. We talk about all the accomplishments that President Trump has had, and a lot of it is, putting America first. We felt like America was put on the back burner of the world, and that the trade deals with China and the Iran nuclear deal and the Paris Climate Accord and all these things that really didn't benefit America at all, Donald Trump went in there and kicked over the apple cart of Washington and really showed what would happen if someone put America first and didn't get involved in all the political games that is the swamp of D.C. We found out what happened when he first got into D.C. We saw all the Russia collusion, the Russia hoax. We saw all the different stories they kept throwing at this president, and he just kept fighting it. And each time he would fight it, he would win and be vindicated. So he is probably one of the toughest American presidents we've ever had. I can't think of another president that could have taken that much criticism and scrutiny and just kept going and kept working hard for the American people and did not fold. As we go into about 42, 45 days of the Biden presidency, we've seen exactly what his agenda is. It's not putting America first. It's putting China first and everyone else first. And whether or not you agree with this stimulus bill from COVID, this $1.8, $1.9 trillion stimulus bill, which a very small percentage of that actually goes to help people that have suffered from the shutdowns, that makes you really get a good glimpse of what the agenda is for the majority of politicians in Washington. I saw that a portion of those proceeds from the stimulus bill goes to a tunnel construction in Northern California. It goes to universities. It goes to projects that have nothing to do with helping the people of America. And so I want you to do your research. You can go on there and check it out and find out what that bill actually does. And it does help victims, don't get me wrong, but just a small portion of that. We'd like to see a greater portion of that as well. So if you're just now joining us, let us know where you're from. Maybe step aside. We'll pan the room, show the crowd here. We've got chairs that are socially distanced, and we are prepared, I think, to have about 100 to 150 people in here, give or take, because of the social distancing. Now, we mentioned earlier that Governor Greg Abbott released the mandates here in the state of Texas effectively on Wednesday. So there is no effective Wednesday. There is no mandatory mask mandate in this state. And of course, those that feel like they still need to wear a mask, they're perfectly fine to do that, but it will not be forced on you by the state of Texas, by the law here. And also businesses can open up 100% as well, starting on next Wednesday. So things are happening here in the state of Texas, and Scott Presler is here tonight to try to shake things up politically and get you involved. I mean, they don't teach some of these things that we have here tonight in any school. You can't, there's no curriculum on how to run for a political office here in the state of Texas, because maybe you can go boot camp 101 election at university, but it's not there. But it is here tonight, and we're so glad that you're joining us right here on Right Side Broadcasting. Also, as a programming note, we're off to California. Talk about a political state that needs to be redone. The recall for Gavin Newsom is steaming full-fledged ahead. They've gotten the signatures needed for the recall. And so Scott Presler will be out in Sacramento and San Francisco as well. A lot of people really learned about Scott during his cleanups that he would do across America. And that's how, before he got really into voter registration, it was all about cleanup, making the community clean. And of course, in Dallas, he came through, and one of the areas that was really had a lot of poverty, a lot of trash, a lot of homeless, he was there cleaning it up. And he's making a difference, and now he's shifting into really cleaning up politics, if you will. So a lot of people want to know, hey, how can I make a difference in my community? And that's exactly what he's going to do tonight. And a lot of people love him. Of course, he is a fan favorite amongst conservatives, and being very, very selfless, comes from a military family. Dad was in the military, educated. He's on the road. This is what he does. A lot of people say, well, what's his job? I said, well, this is his job. He's serving the community, and we are glad that he's here tonight as well. And of course, we talked earlier about the state of Texas. Today is Texas Independence Day, and I think it's so fitting that he's here tonight to talk about this, and that the governor had the actions that he had earlier. It's just what a tremendous move so far in 2021. Now, so we're off to California for 2 dates, and then on Friday I will be in New York City for an event. I just want to leave it at that. You can follow us throughout the course of the next couple of days. We'll tell you a little bit more about that event, but it's something that you're going to want to stand by and see, because it's an event. I think it's going to be a very patriotic event, and we are excited to be able to bring that coverage to you. Mike Nificent and myself will be live from New York on that. And then we're off, really, we're back in Arizona at the end of March for another Scott Presler Boot Camp 101 for politics, if you want to get involved in politics. And then we're also going to be in Port St. Lucie, Florida for a debut of a pro-life film as well. We'll put all this information on our social media. So we're all over the place, folks. We are trying to do what's best. You know, I talked about Mike Lindell and MyPillow and how more important it is than ever from all the stuff that he's going through to go to his website right now, mypillow.com, and simply click on any one of the hundreds of products. Shop, and if you put in the promo code RSBN at checkout, you get this, 66% off, up to 66% off. Let me clarify that, up to 66% off on your entire purchase. So what a great way to support Mike Lindell as he kind of fights through a lot of turbulent waters right now, and pick up a great pillow, pick up some Giza sheets, pick up a dog bed, for crying out loud. You want your dog to sleep better at night? Get him one of these MyPillow dog beds. He'll probably do a fine job and be a better pet. Be a better pet. So go to mypillow.com, put in the promo code RSBN at checkout, and get up to 66% off. You can also, we are, pretty much viewer supported. And through these times that we're really out there trying to get the news, and I've had so many people come up to me and talk about, thank goodness we have Right Side Broadcasting. Thank goodness we have you guys are out there telling the truth. We're glad to do that. I'm going to talk to this couple. You mind stepping in? I like one thing. Oh, all right. Well, we're live on Right Side Broadcasting, so thanks for coming. And what brings you guys here today?
We're interested in the truth.
Okay. Get involved in politics, right? It's not too late to learn from you, right?
Yeah. We're Trump fans.
Yeah, you're Trump. Well, I'm going to figure you're Trump fans. Where are you guys from?
Here.
Here?
Yeah,
What was the greatest thing that Trump did during his candidacy?
get elected.
Get elected. There you go. You know what? That's probably the truth, right?
And then he did his regular Trump stuff.
He did a lot. His policies were fabulous. I wasn't a huge fan when he first came out at all, but I just watched what he did,
right,
and I became a huge fan based on all the policies that he enacted, and he flat did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
He was a successful businessman, and he took this to the White House, and that's really what we needed instead of politics.
Yeah. Big fan of Scott Presler.
Oh, yeah. But he started here, and the lady that just walked past you, I was trying to get her to talk to you.
Go get her up and bring her up. Yeah.
She formed the Tea Party here, and she and her husband were the founders of the Tea Party here.
We're about to get started here in a few minutes, but yeah, so I know that Scott kind of started here in the League City area. So anyway, he volunteered a lot. All right, well, let's go ahead. They're going to get situated. I'll be back here setting everything up. So they're doing some housekeeping rules here, but we're glad you're joining us. And one of the things I think people want to take away from this is how can they make a difference in their own community? How can they get out? How can they go knock on doors? How can they make sure that they're doing all they can in their local area to make a difference on a national scale? And it really starts with just getting involved. And a lot of people don't know how to get involved. And so Scott tonight will take us through about an hour and 10-minute program. He'll do some interviews with some people, obviously take some pictures, but hopefully at the end of this broadcast, you'll be inspired to make a difference in your neighborhood. Last night he was in Beaumont, Texas. Tonight we're in League City. Tomorrow he is in Houston. And I know that he's got a full schedule across the country. So wherever you're watching this right now, there's a good chance that Scott is going somewhere near your hometown to get involved and really making a difference in the world. And that's really what it's all about, folks. And that's what people say that we do here at Right Side Broadcasting, is we make a difference in the world. Let me step aside again. A few more people have been making their way in here. The program starts at about 7 o'clock, so we're getting close, and we hopefully will have a good turnout here. Now, I will say this, it is it's a Tuesday here, and it's a school night, like people say, but I don't think we're going to have any issues getting people in here. And of course, they have a limited capacity here, so all the social distancing, things like that, have been followed. All right, I'm going to bring you in here because you were one of the first people when I walked in this building earlier. You said, "Oh, Right Side is here."
Yes.
We're happy to be here.
We're glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming.
What do you think the impact of Scott Presler's having in our political society? I mean, first he started with picking up trash, and he got a lot of notoriety doing that. But now we're talking politics. Now we're talking about getting people involved in their communities.
Brian, I think it's more than politics. It's about saving our country. And Scott has a very clear, very grassroots message, a message that people can identify with of what we as individuals can do. And the momentum that he is creating is just phenomenal.
Yeah. People have come up to me and said he is true, he's honest, and he is making a difference. But he does put himself out there. He does not back down to any criticism.
Not at all. Not at all. And he shouldn't.
Yeah.
He shouldn't. The way that we've gotten ourselves in the mess in this country is because we don't stand up for what we believe.
Yeah. You watched CPAC, you watched the president. What was your takeaway from his speech?
Miss him.
Yeah.
Miss him very much. Hoping he comes back sooner rather than later.
Wasn't it great to see him walk on that stage? We've had so many rallies with the music and the energy, and he connects with people on a level I've never seen. You've got a billionaire that connects with the guy the blue collar pipe fitter. There's no separation there. They're all in sync of really love of country.
Yeah, love of country is what it is. It's patriotism, and he is a sincere patriot, and people want sincerity. People want truth. They want sincerity, and they want someone who cares about what we care about.
Mm-hmm.
And he clearly cares about what we care about. The global elitists, the mainstream, both parties, they don't care about what we care about.
I love the promises made, promises kept. That was something he had, and of course he promised the wall during the campaign, and he got the wall, and it's built. And now the Biden administration, they're trying to really roll back the immigration and really negate the even fact of having a wall through their immigration reforms.
That affects us very, very strongly here in Texas, obviously. The fact that Biden just wants to completely erase everything that Trump did tells me everything that I need to know that Trump did everything right.
It's true. Biden had 47 years in politics, but right now he finally has it all. He has it all figured out, right?
Yeah, all figured out. Yeah, for all 15 minutes a day that he's awake.
Yeah. When you talk to people that live in this area, and this is Galveston County, what are some of the biggest concerns that Republicans have here? That they would want to change for everyday life here, or just things they want to change as a state in Texas?
We're very, very blessed in Texas. We have Republicans as governor, House of Representatives, and the Senate. So what we're focusing on is making good things even better. Lower property taxes. We don't have state income tax here. Mm-hmm. We have some of the lowest taxes in the country, and we want to keep it that way. And to keep it that way, we have to have conservatives. We just have to. So it's not any different here than I think it is across the country, in that we want lower taxes, freedoms, not having to wear a mask.
Yeah, a little in that, which Governor Abbott did that, so that's fine. One last final question. This is almost the petrochemical headquarters of the world. I mean, outside, this is the biggest in the world.
It is.
When Biden said he was going to basically, the Keystone Pipeline, stop that, roll back all that stuff, we just became energy independent during the Trump administration. What does that mean to the petrochemical industry here in this area of Southeast Texas?
It can be devastating. The prices have already gone up, double digits. But in terms of job loss and overall effect to the economy, we don't think it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, hopefully that can be stopped. I know there was some talk about the states being able to supersede that.
Exactly,
And
and Texas has already done that.
Yeah.
Texas and Oklahoma both have passed laws just completely ignoring Biden's executive orders.
Yeah.
Completely. Can I do one quick shout out?
Go ahead.
Okay, my shirt.
Okay.
Father Richard of St. Mary Pine Bluff in Wisconsin and his U.S. Grace Force sells these shirts.
How can they get a hold of it?
usgraceforce.com.
There we go. I love it.
Right.
Rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God.
Amen.
That's it. Yeah,
All right.
you can't love God without hating evil.
Exactly.
And you got to stand up to evil, and that's exactly what we're trying to do today. So your takeaway when Scott Presler walks off this stage, what do you hope people do? They get inspired to do what?
They get inspired to sign up as a voter registrar, to start registering Republicans left and right, to come as a candidate. Come sign up to be a candidate, school board, city council.
You can be the dog catcher. I will be the greatest dog catcher in the world. But yeah, just get involved, right?
Get involved and don't give up the momentum
Yes.
that's being created here. Do not give up the momentum.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian.
God bless. Thanks
So
for
glad that y'all are here.
greeting me so kindly when I came in. Oh, it's good to be here. I want to bring Carol Dean in here. Of course, you were in Beaumont yesterday, right? No, you were not in Beaumont yesterday. I heard it was just an incredible event.
I heard it was packed to the max.
Okay, let's talk about your relationship with Scott. I saw you guys earlier, and you and him go back.
We do, to about, in fact, he reminded me 2014 when he first came to Texas to work on the Abbott campaign. He was a stranger to Texas, and I tell you what, he had so much fun today driving around this area and going, oh, what memories I have.
Yeah. Why do you think people gravitate towards him so much?
Scott is such an unselfish person, and he never has anything unkind to say, and he diffuses things when they do happen, and he's just an all-round 100% good guy.
And you know what? He goes in these cities that nobody wants to go into, picks up trash, goes in areas that are, a lot of people can sit back and complain about their area and their community, but they don't do anything about it. Scott does.
And he goes in there, and all of a sudden, volunteers start to appear, and he's got that many more new friends.
Yeah.
And he's not going looking for friends. He's going to do the work that he's chosen to do, and they all love him.
When this seminar wraps up tonight, what do you think these people are going to, when they leave here, what do you think they're going to do? What do you hope they're going to do?
I hope they're just as fired up as they are when they first got here tonight, and even more so. And we're going to go back, and we're going to just spread the message like wildfire, and we're on our way. We're not saying no to anything.
Yeah, so if you're watching this from another state and people want to get involved, they should really take some lessons from what we're doing here in Texas. I would imagine Scott is traveling around the country.
Yeah, yes.
You'll have an opportunity to get involved. But so keep an eye on Texas, which, by the way, Texas is Texas Independence Day. Now, I was born in the great state of Texas. My home is in the great state of Texas, even though I feel like I haven't been home forever. I travel so much. But
Did you tell them what the governor did today in the great state of Texas?
I did, and of course, it's all over social media and Twitter. A lot of people are now saying, "God bless Texas." Texas was a great state before, but now we've kicked that over. Now, I heard Mississippi followed as well.
Yeah, I heard something like that as well.
Yeah. So, hey, you know what? It's all about safely opening. Now, I always say this: it's all about safely opening. And of course, if you feel like you need to continue all the regulations, by all means.
Who wants to wear a mask, wear it. You want to get your vaccinations, get your vaccinations.
Absolutely, be safe, right?
This is America.
This is America. Do all the stuff that the CDC wants you to do and that suggests you do. So it's great. Well, thank you so much. God bless, Carol. We appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Absolutely.
And
I mean, look at these people coming in here. We've got people from all over the place.
Standing room only.
Standing room. Oh, we got a couple of chairs back here.
Get a few more chairs brought in, but we can do it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Let me step aside. You can take a look at the crowd. It's starting to kick off at around 7, which is about a couple minutes away. So we'll see what happens there. But we're glad you're joining us on this beautiful Tuesday night here in Texas. And of course, they have another event tomorrow in Houston, which is north of here by about 35 minutes, right up I-45. There's another one. It's on Westheimer in Houston. So go to Scott's Facebook or social media. I think it's scottpresler.com. to get more information on that and find out where he's going, because folks, he knows what he's talking about. He knows how to get you involved in politics. He knows how to engage the community, because a lot of people they want to do something. They just need a leader to tell them what to do and get them involved. And so we're glad that he's here. We're glad you're joining us. And of course, share this broadcast right now. Share it with some friends, tag a friend, and say, hey, if you want to change your state, you live in Arizona, you live in Nevada, you live in Wisconsin, well, this is what you need to do. Watch our broadcast, take some tips, and hopefully Scott will join you somewhere where you live. And we're glad you're joining us here today. And of course, if you missed the message earlier that built up to this moment, I sat down with Mike Lindell of My Pillow, and we kind of clarified some things that went on at CPAC. And of course, we had to mute his microphone. You might have saw that in the news, and of course, the news loves to make that seem like a very negative thing, but we just had to clarify some things. So go back and watch that broadcast earlier today. My sit down with Mike Lindell, and we are such good friends with him, and we are glad that he is really walking side by side with us and understands everything that we're dealing with on the big tech side of things. But we're excited here. We're excited you're watching us, and hopefully this will continue to grow. I mean, CPAC 21 was incredible. One of my greatest speeches I saw was Ted Cruz on that opening day. I mean to tell you, he was something else. And he's always given us a real mic drop moment when he speaks on Capitol Hill. And of course, his speech there at CPAC was inspirational. And what a way to open up day one there. And of course, the final day closed with Donald J. Trump, and he came on about almost an hour past his scheduled time, which is traditional for him. We've done so many rallies. We've seen him just really go on stage whenever he wants to go on stage. But that was a great way to finish it. He joked around. That's one thing that people love about Donald Trump. He'll deliver a lot of facts. He'll deliver his accomplishments, but he likes to poke fun at Democrats. He likes to poke fun at the media. That's kind of his personality, and he's very unpolitical politician about it. And I think that's the appeal of Donald J. Trump, and that's why he connects with so many Americans. And we said earlier, whether or not you're super wealthy or whether or not you're, lower middle class, lower class economically, he's with you. And he's done more for African American unemployment than in the history of our economy. He's done more for the Latino community as far as unemployment rate and as far as your average wages. I mean, he's just done some phenomenal stuff and accomplished so much. I mean, the trade deals that were reworked with China, the immigration issues, and just so much. Yes, ma'am. We're live on the air if you want to come on. I see you walking over here.
No, what I wanted to say was a group of us went to welcome the residents.
Okay.
And with our come and take it signs, with our Texas signs, with our Biden is not my president signs, there were more Trump supporters with their signs and flags and shirts and paraphernalia than there were actual supporters of the president.
I have yet to see. And we have been like on the campaign trail. It doesn't matter where we went. I saw 100 times more Trump marketing signs, stickers, flags than I ever saw with Biden Harris, ever. And I actually, during the Hillary, you see thing with when he beat Hillary. I've never seen so many. People love Trump, and it's so vocal.
And they still do. I was going to say, and it was just so funny because in Harris County, which voted predominantly Democrat, you saw all these people, and they were just out there in force, and they were supporting Trump. And, there were cars that were all stickered up with, and I'm thinking, how does that car not get all the windows broken in the side?
Now, let me ask you a question. If you had an official, Trump flag waving day here in Houston, in Harris County, or even Galveston County, what do you think the turnout would be like?
Huge. Well, look at the turnout here tonight. Yeah. I was going to say, and I mean, Scott's already spoken at lunch today here, not 10 miles away. And still we have this kind of turnout, and people have been here for hours already.
I think it's time for a boat parade in Galveston, to be honest with you.
We need to do another boat parade. My friend Jean has a boat, and she was going to take me on the boat for the Galveston County Yacht Club parade, and we were training for the election. So
yeah, well, I'm glad you're here. Where are you from?
Friendswood.
Yeah. What's the number one thing you want to take away from tonight?
Just grassroots organizing, how to do it, because Scott's obviously done a great job. He's gotten a lot of good press. He's done a lot of good things. And I think, he's the one who first said this is an organization based on love. Yeah. And even Trump picked that up, at his CPAC speech. And I thought, that is so cool.
If I'm not mistaken, he got the Reagan Award the other night at CPAC. It was a very distinguished award. I mean, Scott Presler, he's grassroots, but he has gotten the attention of a lot of people in the Republican Party, obviously.
Well, I remember when he had short hair and he was a grassroots activist.
I don't think I've ever known him with short hair.
Not short, but short.
I got to see a picture of that. I got to see if that's on Google, but I've only known him with long hair. So, yeah, he's been actively involved.
Yes, and I was going to say, and he's done good things, and I commend him for all of his work, and the steal is especially terrible for people like that who just really gave their all for 4 years. Yeah.
Well, let me step aside, let you take a look at everything. Thank you very much. We are live. We're moments away, and Scott promised me this is a very, very busy. It's a very active program. He is going to move around the room. He is going to really shake things up here. And he asked me earlier, have you ever seen me perform? And I said, well, I've only seen it on social media. I've never been in a live broadcast with Scott Presler, so I really don't know what to expect tonight. But I'm glad that he's here. I'm glad that you're joining us. And if you're looking to get involved in politics, this is the place to do it. And we'll get him ready here shortly. And we've got people still coming in. We'll swing the camera around, Bryce, towards your left. And you can see the registration area here. And we've got people coming in, signing up. And you know what? Like we've heard this said time and time again, this is for the people. This is for you to actively get involved in politics. And we hope that you get inspired to perhaps take your passion for the president, take your passion for, getting involved in your community. We've all got a hot take, right? There's always something that's really that benefits you the most. So everyone has an issue that they are passionate about, and we want you to get involved. I saw you walk in. I love your shirt. I love your outfit. I love the hat. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Courtney Ortiz, and I'm from Webster, Texas.
There you go. Why are you here today? I know that you love Scott Presler, but what are you looking to take away from this event?
I'm looking to take away how to keep our state red.
Yeah. It's important that we keep it red.
It is of the utmost important that we keep it red.
Okay,
yes.
Obviously Trump fan. What was it about Donald J. Trump when he was running for office that you were like, that's my candidate? What was it about him?
America first.
That's it.
America first.
I mean, you would think that the thought of not putting America first, like, why is that controversial if...
I have no clue. I don't think we have the ability to think that way.
I've always said, if you live in Canada, you should want Canada to be first. Right. You know what I'm saying? Every country should put themselves first.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you're here. You look beautiful. I love your outfit. You've got the U.S. My goodness, you got the shoes. I don't know if you can show that real quickly. Man, that's some kicks. Where'd you get those?
A Finish Line. I got them from Finish Line.
There's a shout out to Finish Line. Well, you got a nice outfit. Go get you a nice seat. Thank you so much for joining us. And you know what? Trump fans are passionate, man. They love this president. They will think of anything to put a flag on it, put Trump on it, bling it up. And that's what we have here tonight. And we're so glad that you're joining us for this. Hey, don't forget to go to our website as well, rsbnnetwork.com, rsbnnetwork.com. And if you want to donate, hey, we would love that. That's one of the ways we're able to do all this. And you know what? Any little bit helps. Every penny helps. So please don't be shy. Give what you can. Those donations go straight to helping us to do what we do. And we had so many people come up to us earlier that were saying, you're the first and the only people to really show everything. And I'm not just talking the rallies, folks. If you remember after the election, when all the Senate hearings were going on, we were there in each one of those states. I mean, I think I was in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Arizona so many times. I might as well buy a house in each of those states because I spent a lot of time in front of Senate hearings getting all the information for all the stuff that's post-election. So we've been there. So please go to our website, rsbnnetwork.com/donate and simply give what you can. It goes a long way. We're so glad you're joining us, and people are still coming in. I think we're running out of chairs. They just came back here a few minutes ago and took, I think, the last couple chairs that we had behind us. So I think we're standing for this broadcast, but no problem at all. We are just glad to be in this building. It's a beautiful night here in Texas. It's Texas Independence Day, and what a day that Governor Greg Abbott made that announcement earlier today that effectively this coming Wednesday, all the mandates towards the mask mandates will be rolled back, and businesses are allowed to open at 100%, all businesses. So that's great for the great state of Texas. That happens on Wednesday, and that is through the orders of Governor Greg Abbott. And of course, if you missed any of our coverage from CPAC, it's amazing how many people will email us and direct message us on social media asking us if we were going to be at CPAC or if we were at CPAC. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? We were there for 5 days. Come on. So go to our social media, go to our YouTube channel, and check out all the interviews we did at CPAC. Amazing stuff, amazing speakers, amazing guests, and really, if there's one takeaway from CPAC, it's that the unity of the Republican Party. It was said time and time again that we're together. And this is a new phase of the Republican Party. It is a Make America Great Again. It is putting America first for the Republican Party. And some of the weak Republicans, there were some rhinos, people that did not get on board with President Trump at the time and actually voted to impeach him, Liz Cheney being one of them. They might have to really work hard in the next re-election season, because Republicans are united to really get rid of the ones that are not for the Trump, and he said earlier, the Trumpisms. They're not for putting America first. They're not for backing our law enforcement. If they're not for strong borders, lower taxes, less regulation, no foreign wars. And mind you, during the Trump administration, we did not get involved in an endless war, a meaningless war. That didn't happen under the Trump administration. Matter of fact, he sent troops home. He promised to have troops home, and that's exactly what he did. So we are just we're very optimistic on the future of the Republican Party. And Trump, did he say, I'm going to run in 2024? No. Did he hint about it? Yes. Did he say the mindset was completely putting America first? Absolutely. And we heard that from Matt Gaetz. We heard that from others, that it is time to unify behind Republicans and really get that message out there that we are here. This Make America Great Again, that putting America first is not just a buzz phrase. It is not just something that's going to go away. And you've got 75, maybe 80 million people that's behind the president that absolutely will follow his lead in terms of the political movement and to making a difference in their own community. And that's exactly what Scott is going to say here earlier. We're about 11 minutes past the hour. Glad you're joining us. We're live here in League City, Texas at the League City Civic Center, getting ready to see Scott Presler put on a little boot camp on how to get involved in politics. Matter of fact, the slide earlier on the screen said, so you want to get in politics, and that's you want to run for office, and exactly, maybe that's what you want to do. And I see so many young people, I see so many college students that are inspired to right side. Yes, ma'am. I tell you what, why don't you come over here?
Right side broadcasting, number one.
Number one. Well, I would say I think we're pretty good. What's your name? Where you from?
My name's Michelle, and I'm from Nassau Bay, Texas, just down the street.
I know exactly where you're at. Okay, obviously, big fan of Scott Presler, big fan of President Trump. What are you looking
Trump won.
Well, hey. So what are you looking to take away from tonight?
Well, I'm going to start some local activism. Scott said he's going to teach us how to do it. We need to start all these people, doing activism here locally. So I'm going to start something.
There you go. I just love the energy in this room. I mean, people come in here fired up, right?
I'm fired up, yes.
All right. So did you watch all the rallies with RSBN?
I watch every single RSBN rally. I watch every single RSBN hearing when they had all the hearings at the state legislators.
How many My Pillows do you own?
A ton. I mean, my whole house is My Pillow. I love you, Mike Lindell. I love you, Steve.
Do you have any pets?
I have a dog.
Does he have a My Pillow bed?
He has a My Pillow bed.
Oh my goodness! How do I know that? All right, what's your dog?
I use the RSBN code too on My Pillow.
Because you can save up to 66% off.
I did.
That's right.
And I got a dog bed.
What's your dog's name?
Max.
All right, Max. Hey, Max. Thank you for supporting Mike Lindell and My Pillow. We appreciate it because a portion of the proceeds go right here at Right Side Broadcasting.
Yes.
Favorite thing that Donald Trump ever did while he was in office? What's the number one
Favorite
thing?
Oh God, everything he ever did was like awesome, but I can't think of all the millions of things that he did. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, like he's changed the trade deals with China, which was
there
my
we go.
major thing. That he was putting in the tariffs and stuff like that. He built the part of the wall. They couldn't get it finished. We could have finished it, but he also did like all this stuff for business, like small business was booming under Trump. It was like crazy busy and crazy awesome. Everybody was happy with the business that business deals that he made. He did the, everything with Israel. He had, moved the embassy there. He was having peace talks. I mean, he got nominated for all those Nobel Peace Prizes, right?
And he's a man of faith, and he's very pro.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people say pro-life. He is a big pro-life advocate. Probably the most pro-life president in American history.
Isn't he the only president that went
Yes.
to the Right to Life March?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's a
The
big
only
pro-life.
one.
And he's big for religion. He was a protector of religion and religious liberty. I mean, he
You
did
should be
so
his
much
spokesperson.
stuff.
You know so much stuff.
I wish. If you're watching Donald Trump, I love you.
He does watch us, by the way. I know.
I'd love
I
you
know.
both.
I know he
If I
watches
could
us.
meet you, it'd be the best day of my life.
Oh, it would be. He's such
I love him.
He's such a man of the people, and he resonates so. It doesn't matter who you are, what walk of life you're in.
Yeah.
Donald Trump loves you, and you feel it.
And he motivates you too. Like when I saw the CPAC speech on Sunday, I was just totally getting up off my couch and saying, "Let's fight, let's do it." So I love him. He's
Well, thank you. God bless. Give me a hug. Go get your seat.
Thank you, Right Side Broadcasting, #1.
All right, we're about to get involved. We're going to jump off here for just a second, and we're going to turn this mic on so that you can hear Scott Presler. We are moments away, so stay tuned. Hang on just 1 second.
So first of all, happy Texas Independence Day. Thank you all very much for being here. My name is Sandra Tetley. I am the chair of the Education and Engagement Committee for the Galveston County Republican Party. And we are, I'd like to introduce to you our county chair, Dr. Pat McGinnis. And he's going to say a word.
Sandra, thank you for putting this together. Scott, thank you for being here. And our fellow citizens, thank you for being here. We are excited to have Scott. I am so excited to see this big crowd. We've got a lot of work to do in the next 2 years, in the next 4 years. I invite you all to sign up in the back before you leave and be sure we have your contact information. Thank you to our hosts in League City, and back to you, Sandra.
And another thing, so Scott does not ask for any money when he comes and makes these presentations. He doesn't ask for an honorarium or anything, but we feel very strongly to help him in his crusade. So we are taking donations at the back. There's a basket, and then Carol Dean will be up here at the end. If anybody wants to come talk to Scott afterwards. Carol, where's Carol? She's in this Texas shirt, so you can pay the front or the back, and we appreciate your donation. So now if you rise, we're going to say the pledges to our flag, and then we'll turn it over. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I pledge allegiance to the
Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. What happened?
fine young man. We met him several years ago when he was working in Galveston County for Governor Abbott. And Scott Presler is the son of a retired Navy captain. He is an Eagle Scout. He's dedicated his life to conservative activism. He started his career as a dog walker. He did help elect Governor Greg Abbott. He spent 2 years of his life working to defeat Hillary Clinton. Invited to the White House. He organized cleanup Democrats in America's dirtiest city. He's registered thousands of new voters. Now he's focused on election integrity, recruiting candidates to run for office, and holding elected officials accountable with primaries. He's coming to us directly from CPAC, where he was awarded the prestigious Ronald Reagan Award. Welcome to Scott Presler.
Get in here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, hello, Galveston! That was terrible. That was bad. Hello, Galveston! Now that's what I'm talking about. There we go. Little bit about me. Probably curious as to how I got started in this crazy life that I live. I graduated university with a 3.63 beauty and brains. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
No, you're not.
But I couldn't find a job, so hard day's work and an honest day's labor. I went on to work at an elementary school, and account the night that he was reelected. And I told myself, Scott, you can sit at home and you can whine and complain, or about it. So I started volunteering for the Republican Party. People like you. And I told myself, Scott, you're going to get a job. Your first ever political job in 2014. I applied all the and within 2 weeks, I was packing everything into my Mazda 3, small car. And I moved down here to League City, Texas. Right over Shoreline Apartments, where they built that Dunkin' Donuts back in 2014. Yes, that was a big deal. Greg Abbott, who today said he's lifting the mask mandate! What a historic day. Texas Independence Day, mask mandate lifted, hundreds of Republicans coming. Oh my gosh, the Democrats must be petrified. Bless their hearts. You see, I learned from here. So when I first here, it was the month of May, and at that time already I was like, guys, I'm sweltering. They all looked at me, kind of tilted their head a little bit and said, bless your heart. And I told everyone back home, I said, I love Texas. Everyone's so kind. They're Come to find out, it's a real nice Southern way of saying, you're dumb as hell, but you're cute. Anyway, after electing the governor, I did spend 2 years of my life working to defeat Hillary Clinton. I love saying that. Then I spent the last 4 years of my life traveling the country, registering voters, training volunteers, and cleaning up cities. You see, I was invited to the White House, and it was the coolest moment of my life. Ladies, I flat ironed my hair. So you know it was a special occasion. I was about to see our man. And so I'm walking into the White House. Dan Bongino is sitting right in front of me. I could breathe on him. Pre-COVID. Can't do that anymore. Kimberly Guilfoyle's there, Donald Trump Jr., and I had the opportunity to raise my hand and ask question, we locked eyes for 2.3 seconds. I counted. It was a magical 2.3 seconds. And so I kind of like to think of my life as I started off very humbled in the doghouse, and I ended up in the White House. Now, my life changed forever when our president brought national attention to the city of Baltimore. And we'll say that he used kind of ungraceful terms talking about the city. And I was disappointed because everybody was quick to point the finger. They were quick to blame and pass judgment. But where were people actually solving the problem? And so I tweeted out to my followers and I said, I'm going to Baltimore. And then I hadn't realized what I had done because all these people wanted to help, and I was like, oh. So within 6 days, we organized a cleanup on a Monday, and we had 200 volunteers, and we picked up 12 tons of trash in 12 hours in 1 day. So I went home to my ma, and I was like, Ma, I'm really good at picking up trash. And you see, her heart at that moment swelled with pride because her son had gone from dog walker to trash collector. And to make you guys understand why I tell that story, I'm an ordinary, average American citizen, but I did something extraordinary because instead of saying, who will, I said, I will. And in 1 year and a half, we've organized cleanups in Atlanta, Austin, Baltimore, Chicago, Denver, Duquesne, Detroit, Houston, Kenosha, Los Angeles, Miami, Milwaukee, Portland, Pittsburgh, Philly! And I was even protested for picking up trash in San Francisco, California. Eat your heart out, Nancy Pelosi.
It's a bad one.
Thank you. The most important thing that we need to address today, and that I believe represents the future of American democracy, is election integrity. We must ensure that we have fair and free elections, or our constitutional republic as we know it is gone. This is an important, critical moment in time. And so what I hope to do today is to empower you with tools that you, as just a citizen, can to pass election integrity reform at the state level. So I'm going to be working off of 2 PowerPoints. What I do is actually I help to recruit people to run for office in the country, so I can make this guide available to those of you that want to run for office. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because I don't want the Democrats to know all of our strategies and playbook. That's going to be something that we're keeping to ourselves, and then once we win in 2022, I'll write a book about it. So first things first, let's talk about 2016. You see, the Democrats, they were very smart and they were very strategic because it seems that this PowerPoint slide is not loading at this very second, so I'm just going to kind of describe it to you. The 2016 election, Hillary and the Democrats all thought that it was Russian interference, right? And they built up this Russian collusion phony scheme. But what did they do? They changed the rules. in California, they began ballot harvesting, and they did it legally. They did it at the state level. And to give you an idea, Orange County used to be a Republican stronghold, right? Now, it's under 2018, it went completely blue. Every single seat flipped to blue because the Democrats changed the rules and changed the law. So I'm arguing if we are going to prepare ourselves for victory, then we need to follow the Democrat playbook and focus at the state level, not the federal level, and change the rules legally in order to make sure that we have election integrity and fair and free elections. Now, I want you to write this down in your head, on your neighbor's forehead. Give you a Sharpie to do so. The website is called legiscan.com. Lega means legislature, scan like you're scanning a document. Legiscan.com. This is your most important tool for election integrity. It gives you all 50 states. So you got girlfriends in Louisiana, California, bless them, New York, oh, double bless them. Then you're going to want to show them legiscan.com, and any legislation that is introduced at the state level is on this website. And also, here's how it works. I'm going to give you kind of a legislative 101 for a second. You know how you have the House and the Senate at the federal level? You got the same thing at the state level. But before a bill can be passed and voted on, it first has to go through a subcommittee. Can everybody say subcommittee? If we do not lobby legislators first on a subcommittee, then a bill may die and not even be voted on. Legiscan.com is going to make you aware of subcommittees, who's on those subcommittees, so you can contact them, lobby them, and make sure that it goes into the chamber. Then we lobby those members to or know if it's a bad bill. And then finally, we will lobby Governor Greg Abbott himself to turn it into law. Now, I want to make you guys happy for a second, because I know we're a little bit discouraged after the election, but we have a couple really good things going on for us. Did you know 23 states across the country have trifecta governments? That means that Republicans control the governorship, the state house, and the state senate. And did you know we control the legislatures in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin? Did you know that? So we have the power at the state level, and that is going to be our key to victory. Another website I want you to write down on your friend's forehead, again, ballotpedia.org. Ballotpedia.org. If you are considering running for office, if you want to know the demographics of a district, if you want to know how many people live there, if you want to know how much money people make in that district, what the houses cost, it is going to give you that information pertinent to you finding out, should you run for office there? Is the candidate who is currently elected a good Republican or a Democrat that we need to replace? We need to replace all Democrats. I take that back. And so I want you, after this meeting is over, to inform all of your friends how important it is that they go to legiscan.com and ballotpedia.org. Now that we've covered election integrity, because if anybody tells you, especially elected official, that they are not focused on election integrity, we need to primary, repeal, and replace them. And here's a cute picture of me at the White House. Look, I'm with, oh no, again, is this really happening? This is the Democrats. This is Hillary Clinton. This is the Democrats. This never, ever happens. And I know. Well, you know, this is really critical to me sharing my story, and I want you guys to have this visual. So while I'm preparing this, I'm going to have a wonderful woman by the name of Carol Dean come up here for a second. And I want Carol Dean to talk about the work that I did first coming here to Galveston County and how we worked together. And can you do that for me, please, Miss Carol Dean? Can you give her a round of applause? Make her feel at home! You make her feel at home! What did I do down here? How did we meet? Tell them some funny stories about us for a second. Gosh.
It's on. Just speak louder. The first time I met Scott was at a organizational meeting that was being held at a private restaurant, and a lot of taking chairs and that. two men. Exactly. And we were talking and said, Scott, under an umbrella the whole time. Yeah, covered up in this sweatshirt and stuff like that. And then so we all officials were talking, but I told him, I said, if you come, I promise you a front row seat. Showed up the last minute. Well, we decided we talked, so here they are. Don't need to forget
my name is James Colbert. I live in Seabrook. I'm a real estate investor. This is a buddy of mine as well. We work together. One of the things I loved about you was your energy. You know, I mean, doesn't that stand out? I'm sure the same with him. When I met him, just being around people that lift you up and encourage you, and it's important, I think, just to be around really high quality people. Try to surround myself with that. I flip houses. I flip houses and lend money to other investors. I teach people how to get into investing. I've got 11 flips going on right now in this folder. I did 78 of them last year. So that's kind of my game. Investment. My company is called Master House Buyers. If anybody's interested in flipping, you know. I'll comment on anything you got.
Test my memory, Zane and James. Boom. I got it. She tried to stop us all the way from Georgia, where she thinks she's governor. Okay, so let's talk voter registration. So there is me in a picture of Hill. They thought I was weird because I was like, can I please get my picture with Hillary? They thought I was a secret Democrat spy or something like that. They thought I was a Democrat spy. But I want to talk about voter registration and how important it is. There we go. Lord have mercy. It's going to drive me to drink. So, in Virginia, it used to be a Republican state. Now it's Democrat. Guys, how did they do it? Voter registration. Going into the 2008 President Obama election, they registered 283,000 new voters, forever changing the demographics of Virginia. I want you to remember these numbers, get a visual of it. 2004. Bush won Virginia with 1.7 million votes. That's wonderful. We won, right? Kerry lost with 1.4. Guys, fast 4 years. President Obama has won Virginia with 1.9 million votes. What did we lose with John McCain? 1.7. Fast forward 4 years, President Obama has again won Virginia with 1.9 million votes. What did Mitt Romney lose with? Are you guys awake? Do you need coffee? Fast forward 4 years, Hillary Clinton has won Virginia with 1.9 million votes. What did Donald Trump lose with? Do you guys see something wrong with that? That for 12 years we were stagnant, we plateaued, we did not grow, while the Democrats registered 283,000 new voters, while the Democrats got out 500,000 new voters. Now, I've got a good news, bad news scenario. In 2020, Republicans did vote for Donald Trump with 1.9 million votes in the Commonwealth of Virginia. But the Democrats voted for Joe Biden with 2.4 million votes. We jumped up 200,000. They jumped up 500,000 votes in the Commonwealth of Virginia. If we want to win elections, we start with election integrity and we register new voters. So I want to do story time with you. Story time. My mom, she always gets on me because I spend a lot of time on busy street corners. And she says, Scott, stop saying working the corner. Stop it. Trump will never hire you if he thinks you're working the corner. So sorry, Ma, I was out there doing what I do. Because I go alone, by myself, with a sign that says 3.6 million black children living in poverty. Why do Democrats choose illegal immigrants first? 4 million Hispanic children living in poverty. Why do Democrats choose illegal immigrants first? And look in the first photo in the bottom left-hand corner. That group accosted me, and they were actually very angry. And they came up to me and they said, what the heck are you doing? And I said, well, silence is compliance. And I'm out here because if you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem. And I think it's wrong that we have potholes we're not fixing. I think it's wrong that veterans are sleeping homeless on the streets. I think it's wrong that our education system is worse than Japan. I'm out here because I give a darn about our community. I give a darn about you. Guys, we're taking a selfie. I was able to turn a hostile situation into a loving one because I put my heart on my sleeves and I showed people I give a darn about them. Next photo. See that woman in gray? She's bent over. She hasn't voted since 64. I said I wasn't born yet, dear, but so nice to meet you. We got permission to set up a table outside of Taste Buds Popcorn. I would say that asking for permission is a lot like dating. The worst that they can say to you is no. Unless you're Joe Biden and you do it anyway. But this is the Galveston County Republicans. There's no hair sniffing going on in here. We ask for permission. And if you would like to, you may. So, ask restaurants, business owners, gun shops, gun shows. Next photo, we're at the beach. You guys live in such a beautiful county, don't you? Why are we not talking to the babes and handsome gentlemen at the beach, registering them to vote? I mean, come on, that's a 2-for-1 right there. And see that woman in front? Her name is Kristen. I met Kristen at a Starbucks. I'm a little bit weird. I run with a, if you hadn't already noticed, I run with a sign on my back that says Trump that I wear as a backpack. And so my entire community knows me. We're in line at Starbucks. She turns around to me and she goes, "You're that guy! The guy with the backpack." And I'm always a little bit sheepish because I don't know how they're going to respond to me. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And she goes, "I love you." What did I say to her? I love you too. Wrong. I said, "Are you registered to vote at your current address?" I want that vote. I'll do whatever it takes legally in order to get it. But this woman, I've invited her into my home for game night. I've invited her into my home for movie night. I turned a stranger into a friend, into an activist for the Republican Party by being loving, kind, compassionate, and yes, being that long-locked, flowing-haired conservative with the Trump backpack. Next picture, church. Allison's at church, but Scott, how dare you mix religion and politics? My answer, it's about time we do. We up the Christian vote and we will never lose another presidential election again. And I spoke with Father Pavone at CPAC, and he told me he is encouraging voter registration at churches across America, and we will be pursuing that. So, here's your call to action. This is all about doing something. I'm so glad you're here, but I don't want you to go home and say, I saw Scott and his hair. No, that's wonderful. That's great. But I want you to do something. So I want you to contact your parishioner, your priest, your pastor, your rabbi, whoever you get your faith services from, and ask for permission to do a nonpartisan, non-political voter registration table. You're not going there as the Republican Party. You simply want to make sure that our values are registered to vote so we can push them to the polls. Last picture, colleges. Are we going to allow Democrats to be the only ones pushing a narrative on college campuses? No. Oh, heck no. Present an alternative message. And remember, you don't have to be a young person to talk to young people. You don't have to be a minority to talk to minorities. What you have to do is show up, look them in the eye, show that you give a darn about them, and the Republican Party needs to go into communities that we have failed in the past to go into. Your motto is, what would the Democrats do? Would the Democrats be at high schools? Yes. Would the Democrats be at colleges? Yes. Would the Democrats be at graveyard? Yes. Was that wrong? Should I not have said that? Am I going to get in trouble? Bring it. Cancel me. Let's go. Let's go. So, motto is, what would the Democrats do? It's like the Little Mermaid. You want to be where the people are, okay? So, where do you go to register voters? You're all wonderful people, right? But you agree with me. I already have your vote. You're conservative. I want to reach people that don't agree with me, the independent voter, the soft Democrat voter. So, you guys got Dollar Trees everywhere. You have gun shops, gun shows, Oh, I learned what crawfish festivals were when I moved down here. I went, what the heck? I learned what Cavender's is. That's where I got my first pair of boots. So, register voters at these places. It's like shooting fish in a gosh dang barrel. And Home Depot, did you know that the founder, Bernie Marcus, is dedicating 90% of his legacy to conservatism? And who shops at Home Depot? Your blue-collar worker, your business owner, your construction worker. These are people that share our hard-working values and that are conservative. Now, if you choose to go to Chick-fil-A, which I think is great because you can reward yourself with an and delicious chicken after you're done, just don't go on Sunday. Nobody's there. No one's there. You're in an empty parking lot. Where is it? Oh, it's Sunday. Okay. So, what do you need with you? In order to be successful, you need clipboards. You need pens. I bring thank you letters with me to help build that relationship and that trust. Now, here in Texas, things are a little bit different. I know that we have a couple rules and regulations we have to follow. And if you want to collect voter registration forms, you have to become a volunteer deputy voter registrar. I want everyone to repeat after me. Volunteer deputy voter registrar. You guys are good. Very good. And so, if you want to know how to get involved, contact your county and say, when is your next VDVR training? Type into the internet, Galveston County Volunteer Deputy Voter Registrar Training. Now, you guys live in a very transient area where you've got Jefferson, you've got Beaumont, you've got Harris County. Now, you have to do this by county. So, for example, if you take the class for Galveston, you need to also take it for Harris County if you want to register Harris County voters. And imagine all those people that are going to be traveling down to your neck of the woods for vacation. Well, if you're a VDVR for several counties, you'll be able to register all those people to vote legally and make sure that we are empowering them with a voice. So please, volunteer, deputy, voter, registrar. That's very important. And just imagine if we did a training like this with VDVR off the Democrats with love and peace and democracy, because I don't need CNN writing a hit piece. So that Scott Presler, you know, he's just picking up trash. What a mean guy. He's just terrible. How to approach a voter. I need a volunteer. Okay, yes sir, what's your name? Josh. Josh, round of applause. Round of applause. Get up here. Get up here, Josh. Come on. Okay, so Josh, you're at Home Depot. You're pushing your buggy around. I said buggy, not cart. I learned. Okay, and you're a Republican, but you're not registered to vote. And I know you'd be scratching your head being like, that's weird. How can you be a Republican and not registered? 120 million people didn't vote in the 2016 elections. That's a lot of folks. That's a lot of opportunity as well. I look at the other side. Okay, so push your buggy around. I'm going to come up to you. Sir, how do you feel about securing our border?
Yes.
Excellent! Excellent! Are you registered to vote at your current address?
No, not currently.
Well, you know what? I'm registered with the city, the county, and actually I could register to vote right here, right now in 2 minutes flat!
2 minutes.
2 minutes!
Okay.
Peer pressure, let's go.
All right, fine, here we go.
Excellent. Okay, you're not done. Stay there. Stay there. So, remember that 90% of communication is body language. We are talking to each other without even knowing it, right? So, when I found out he's a conservative, am I letting him get away? Am I letting him get away? Heck no. I'll do whatever it takes, legally, in order to get his vote. So I nicely but aggressively shoved that clipboard over to him, indicating with my body language, sign this, take this. Okay, you're pushing around your buggy. You're a Republican. You're die-hard. You have a Trump hat on. You have a Trump shirt on. You may or may not even have a Trump tattoo. So I come up to him, sir, how do you feel about supporting our men and women in blue who put their lives on the line for us every single day?
I feel like we should defend the thin blue line.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, you're registered. Are you registered to vote address?
I am, sir.
Well, you know what? I'm out here with the Galveston County Republican Party. We are not waiting for 2022. We are starting here in winter 2021, right here, right now. Will you volunteer with us? Say yes.
Yes.
Trump tattoo, come on. Come on. Excellent, excellent. You're not done. Stay there. Stay there. Okay, everybody, it was Justin? Joshua. Josh. Everyone, I want you to look at Josh. Look at him! In this scenario, he's an Elizabeth Warren lovin'. He's regretting signing up at this moment. Bernie Sanders supportin'.
We want the foot.
And he's at Home Depot in a Qasem Soleimani t-shirt. That's the terrorist that dog Conan killed, by the way. He's wearing that t-shirt. Okay, so, and he's so bad, I want to paint the picture. He's so bad. He has the American flag as his front doorstep, so he has to walk on Old Glory. That's Josh. Okay, so you know how to play the part. So I come up to him, sir, how do you feel about the motto, let's put America first?
Racist.
He's too good. He's a spy. Democrat. Thank you so much for your time. Bless your heart. You did great. Josh, can we round of applause? Round of applause! Come on! Come on! Am I going to get in a fight with him? No. Am I going to be confrontational? No, I'm here for a reason. I am here to win. And that means if you only have an hour of your time to dedicate to the Republican Party, use it wisely. Don't spend 30 minutes trying to convince somebody who's name calling and who has no reason that they're going to support your cause. You want as many volunteers as humanly possible. You want as many new registered voters as humanly possible. This is a numbers game, and we are here to win. Did I ask Josh if he's a Trumper? Did I ask Josh if he's a Republican? No. I asked him a qualifying question to determine conservative ideology. And then when I found out he was one of us, what did I say? We're almost there. Good job. Good job. Now, guys, I want you to look at the screen. Look at them! But don't you dare laugh. These are my friends. I'll hurt you. These two people reached out to me on Instagram and they said, Scott, I love the work that you do. And I love President Trump. Two real-life Trump supporters! Do I look like a typical Republican? Be honest. No, I don't. I got all this long hair, millennial. I speak Spanish. I studied Arabic in my free time. The party thinks that they own me, but I reject the Democrat Party. And if you ever have a moment of doubt, and you see while you're on that street corner a girl with a pixie haircut, and it's green and blue and purple, and she's from and she has more piercings than I have fingers and toes, give her the time of day. Talk to her. Ask that qualifying question, because you never know. She might be another Scott Presler in hiding. And this is, most importantly, this movement that we are. We are a no judgment movement. And we are a movement based on love. And that means you have to act like it. Who's in the top left-hand corner? What's that a picture of? What did the Democrats try to do to them? They tried to rip that family apart. How dare Democrats say keep families together when they tried to destroy this family? And how dare Democrats say believe women! You have to believe women! When these three women, they left in silence. And how about the bottom left-hand corner? What do you see? You see President who has lost both of his arms so he can no longer feel touch. And what is the president doing? Touching his face so he can feel that love, that compassion, that warmth. It evokes emotion, doesn't it? I can see it in some of you right now. And what is the middle picture of? You see President Trump with an elderly grandmother whose granddaughter, a police officer, was shot and killed in New York City. And what is she doing? She is clutching onto our president. And what is he doing? He's comforting her. You feel it right now. You see the difference between Democrats and Republicans, and this isn't a dig. We're just wired differently. We're different. We think different. And so that means that we have to tailor our message differently. If I'm trying to reach a Democrat, I'm going to use emotion. I'm going to use a heartfelt to explain to them that what we're building, what this movement is compassionate conservatism. And I believe that's the future of the Republican Party. So please use pictures to bring over Democrats into our party. Now, I love registering new voters, and not just to take pictures to show off my hair. I mean, it looks great there. Come on. Pantene, where's that commercial? Let's go. And so, I register voters all across the country. Just registered a new citizen to vote, +1 for Donald Trump in Virginia. #immigrants for Trump. Brand new citizen, she slid into my DM. She said, Scott, I want you to register to me to vote. I went over to McDonald's, register her to vote outside of it. This next gentleman, I spent a lot of time at McDonald's because this one is too. He wanted to get registered to vote. He's 17 years old at the time in Pennsylvania, and I registered him. Did you know, in most states across the country, as long as you turn 18 by election day, you can register to vote. And in states like California and Maryland, you can actually pre-register to vote at 16. So let's take that as opportunity. I put it on the flip side and go, no, let's invest in our youth. And let's make sure that it's not a Democrat planting a seed at that early age in life. It's going to be Republicans with freedom and liberty in the Constitution, our values that we are instilling in the future of our party. And to give you an idea of the work that I do, I've registered thousands of new voters, and this is your new Republican Party. So pictures or it didn't happen. Don't tell me, Jerry Bentley. Scott! She didn't know I was going to call her out. Scott, and also, you know what? I put up here all these people, you scary folks. Can I get a round for Miss Carol Dean for a second? She was such a good sport. She gave me a death stare earlier when I called her name. You should have seen it. But Jerry, you can't tell me, Scott, I registered 30 voters. Show me a picture. Show me a video of you doing that wonderful work. Now, to those of you watching on Right Side Broadcasting, can I get a round of applause for Right Side Broadcasting? We love you! Now, I do this for all 50 states, so if you know somebody in another state and they want this presentation, I've tracked all the rules, I've tracked the regulations, I tell you what to do, so no matter where you're from, I can make sure that you are registering voters in your state to make sure we're prepared for the 2022 election. And look, I've even done the homework. See how Texas is there as a state that does require training? I came up with this plan that tells for the next class. So I'm saying exactly what I put in this document. And I want you to look at this golden photo. This is beautiful. It says silent majority stands with Trump. It says Hispanics for Trump. It shows the Republican Party doing something. So take a picture, and please, for the love of God, if you are out registering voters, bring a puppy with you. Please. That puppy will bring people from miles. They will come wanting to pet it. That's your opportunity to register voters. Bring a baby. Do what you have to do in order to, you know I'm right. If you saw a puppy, you'd go. You know I'm right. Now, what other ways can you get involved? You may say to me, Scott, I can't knock on all the doors. Scott, I hate the phone calls. Scott, I can't do the voter registration. Is there anything else for me? Yes. Whether you're 18 or 80, I'm putting you to work. So, I like to sit at Starbucks with my Trump computer. And I sit in the drive-through window. So everyone has to see my smiling face. Some of them, they're giving me a thumbs up. Some of them, they're telling me I'm number one. Static from their car, I run outside of Starbucks. I knock on their window door. And what do I say? We're almost there. Yes, you got it. So I use a lefty Democrat establishment to help elect Republicans. Letters to the editor, and since we've got so many people watching, I'm going to read this to you. I think it's important that people hear this. I wrote this to the Virginian Pilot, super Democrat. Oh my gosh, they hate me. And they actually published this. There are 500,000 homeless Americans, including 50,000 homeless veterans. There are 3.6 million black children living in poverty, 4 million Hispanic children living in poverty, and 4.2 million white children living in poverty. While American citizens are sleeping on the streets, why do Democrats choose illegal immigrants first? And while millions of Americans are locked up for breaking the law, why are illegal immigrants rewarded for breaking the law? And while millions of Americans are without health care, why is New York City going to cover the medical costs of 300,000 illegal immigrants? You see, my question goes deeper. My question asks, if black lives, Hispanic lives, white lives, and veteran lives matter, which indeed all of those do, why does the Democrat Party put you last and put everyone else first? We need to bring this message across the country with our compassionate conservatism and say, we only have love in our heart, but my love first starts at love of country, love of neighbor, love of veteran, love of American. And once we take care of all of our babies, then we can extend our hand and help up, give a hand up to other communities. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So show them your heart, show them your love. Now, who is this woman? What's her name? Broward County, Florida. Her name is Brenda Snipes. Doesn't she have a great Harry Potter Slytherin name? She'd be Slytherin. Brenda Snipes. Well, something happened in 2018, little election, nothing big, you know, it wasn't consequential to our history at all, but a ballot box appeared out of nowhere in Brenda Snipes' territory and Broward County. And because an investigative journalist snapped this photo of an Avis van delivering a ballot box, today we have Governor Ron DeSantis and Senator Rick Scott. So, if you see something, say something. Wrong. If you see something, take a gosh dang photo of it and send it to your friend Scott, who has 800,000 followers, and then I'll post it everywhere. Okay. And I'll give you credit. I'll tag you. I'll give you credit. Now, guys, why is Miss Snipes wearing 50 I voted stickers? I didn't say it. Next photo. Oh, and back to that for a second. A little bit of tough love, but true love, because love is truth. We can have fun doing this. As you can see, this is joyful. We are here celebration. But we do need, in addition to our boat parades and flotillas, we need people to become election judges, poll workers, door knockers. You want to win the election? Put in the work. Letters to voters. Right now, at this very second, are writing postcards into your state from California, Oregon, Washington, New York, in an effort to turn your state. In 2018, I was like, where's the Republican Party? Do something! So I created Letters to Voters, and we started writing handwritten strategic letters to independent and soft Republican voters in Missouri, West Virginia, and Ohio. And I'm proud to say that our efforts helped to elect Senator Josh Hawley. And look, you can have a letter writing party. It's so much fun. And look, this is my family, not by blood, but by choice. And you guys are family. I want you to look at each other for a second. Look at each other! A family sticks together like glue. You share the same values, you share the same principles, you share the same love of country, and we're going through a very difficult time as a country, so you need each other to lean on to, am I right? So, before you leave here today, I want you to trade your number with 5 new people. Get to know each other. If you leave without trading 5 people your number, I'm going to remember. I'm taking notes. So, okay, never mind. I won't. You don't do it, I won't come back. How about that? So, here's Jocelyn, a ma, and she goes, Scott, the only reason why I'm helping you is I'm worried about my baby. I'm worried about her rights and privileges growing up. And there's Eli, a Puerto Rican American, and see that floating head in the back? That's Miles. Where did I meet Miles? Starbucks! I was wearing a Stop Hillary t-shirt. It's my favorite t-shirt. I had like 10 of them. And so I come to find out he's a conservative. He comes up to me. We hit it off. What did I say? He wasn't. I registered him to vote right then and there. Then his friend Nathan is there. Nathan's a conservative. What did I say? He wasn't. I registered him to vote. Then Nathan's girlfriend Helena is there. Come to find out she's a conservative. What did I say? She wasn't. So I registered 3 young people from simply sitting at a Starbucks with a Stop Hillary t-shirt. And if I can do it, so can you. And guys, look, you guys, when you're having your letter writing party, you can have so much fun. There's a gosh darn dog on the table. And you can have a pizza party. You can have a wine night. You can have a shoot the whiskey night. But I can see it right now. Cosmo night. I can see, yes, there you go, Cosmo night, he says, as he drinks up. I can see it right now, though. Please, Sandra, drink responsibly, because she's writing a letter, and she goes, Dear voter, please vote for... So drink responsibly, please, people. But you guys are a family, so please act like it. Community service. This changed my life. Not just because I'm an Eagle Scout, not just because I'm the son of a retired Navy captain and the grandson of a retired Navy captain. I don't know what happened to me for another day. So I've lived a life of service. I've lived a life of giving back, and I've been cleaning up at the day, and I've been going minority out in Republican, picking up And there's Colleen, and there's Eli, the Puerto Rican American, and there's Jocelyn. We've really become a family in doing all of this work together. And see the gentleman in plaid? He wasn't with us when we started. He came up to us and he said, "What the heck are you doing?" I said, "Well, I am an environmental steward who does care about making America clean and green again." And he was so taken aback that he wanted his picture. And still to this day, I think about it, he probably went home to his wife and was like, "Honey, there are Trump supporters in the neighborhood. And they're picking up trash." So I don't know if this gentleman will ever vote Republican or for my candidate, but what I do know is I changed a heart and I changed a mind by being loving, kind, compassionate, considerate, and yes, an environmental steward. But my favorite woman in the whole world, besides Ma, I have to say that, watch hurt me. Yes, Ma, I know you're watching right now. Can I get a shout out for my mom? I love you, Mom! And she was there. I didn't even tell you guys. Okay, the other coolest moment of my life, and I'm not just saying this to pat myself, so please don't take it that way. But my mom and dad were there with me when at CPAC I received the Ronald Reagan Award. And it meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me that they were there. And so this woman, Colleen, she's a grandma. She's never been an activist, ever, just a voter. And I was working the corner. She comes up to me, and I want to paint this picture for you. This woman is tough as nails. She is rough around the edges. She is gruff, and she's smoked her whole life. And she comes up to me. She goes, "Oh my God. There's another Trump supporter." And I was like, "Yes, ma'am, I've been working this corner for a year. Where you been?" And then what did I say? Wrong. I said I love you because I come to find out that she was a two-time President Obama supporter that flipped for Donald Trump. So I said this is a no judgment movement, right? And you remember that this is a movement based on love, right? Well, we have a lot of Democrats that are seeing the error of their ways. And they are seeing that Joe Biden and the Democrats are fracking. They're seeing that Joe Biden and the Democrats are anti-energy, which means they are anti-Texas. We've seen from the Democrats that they don't care if they close down our businesses. They don't care if they close down our churches. They don't care if they take away our liberty, our freedom, and our constitutional rights for us. Well, Democrats, I hope you are watching this broadcast right now, and I hope that you see that we are organizing, because you hear me loud and clear going into 2022. Game on! That came out of nowhere, but it felt good. That felt really good. I have to do that more often. Trailers and fences. This was so much fun. Guys, we had a blast. If you guys have an artistic talent and you're not as well as dealing with people or knocking on doors or all of that, if somebody has a trailer, a fence, a barn that you can paint a mural or message or something to get our message across creatively and just show them that we're having fun in doing this. And these are two trailers that we put in Michigan in the 2020 elections. Why do Democrats choose illegals over Americans? And look, they had such a fun time doing it. The fam was coming together, And this is a mural in Pungo, Virginia. Pungo, oh, it was so much fun. This is at the border of North Carolina and Virginia, and this is still up to this day. I think they might have changed it to Biden, but this is a Save America, Never Hillary mural. And we had the whole team come out there. You see these, oh look, we built a wall. And you see these 3 military men, they wanted their picture taken. I said, of course I'll take your picture. And then what did I say? Wrong. I said, thank you for your service. Thank you for defending the red, white, and blue. Thank you for defending Old Glory. Are you single? I gotta do what I gotta do. And then I said, are you registered to vote? And then guys, the media came out because a deranged Democrat decided to vandalize our Save America, Never Hillary mural. How fascist and rude, right? But a 6'5" long-haired Eagle Scout tipped off the media. Still to this day, I don't know who it was. God bless him. And that day, my friends, I wasn't a victim. I was the victor. My website is scottpresler.org. This is severely dated. I mean, gosh, I no longer have 293,000 followers. I have close to 800,000 followers. Because of you. Because of you. I'm thankful for you. But I want to make a couple things clear. I do not work for the Republican Party. I do not work for Ronna McDaniel or the GOP or the RNC. Nobody pulls my strings or tells me what to do. I am completely independent of the party. And I've got a couple things to say. Any elected official that is not America first, I'm coming for you. Do you hear that, Liz Cheney? Do you hear that, Mitt Romney? Do you hear that, Ben Sass? Do you hear that, Adam Kinzinger? Do you hear that, Rob Portman? Do you hear that, Marco Rubio? You're on my peaceful, democratic list, and I'm watching. With that being said, I've finished my presentation for tonight, and gosh, I never imagined we would ever have this big of a crowd. I'm going to allow, very briefly, I'm going to take 3 questions. 3 questions. So if anybody has any... Yes, ma'am.
How did they bypass the legislators and get these voting changes?
So she said the trifecta is great. How were they able to bypass it legislatively? Answer is it was done illegally, and meaning that it was done from DOJ, state legislatures. Our voices are away from us. Wrong to you is you need to call your state representative single day through Friday. What are they doing to sponsor or co-sponsor election integrity legislation? And if they A, are not answering your question, or B, not listening to you, then Scott Presler will help primary repeal and replace these people. I saw. And then I'm coming to you last, Josh.
So when you primary someone, how are we going to a bunch of people person and then Adam Kingsman?
Great question. You're wonderful. And actually, here's my suggestion that I want everybody at home to tell all of these candidates. Ask them point blank. Here's what we're going to do. Well, number one, be supporting candidates. In the past, I've been neutral. I was neutral in the 2020 election, and I let the primaries play out as they were. But I can no longer do that. I cannot allow Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney to have a split vote and to win. I will be endorsing candidates across the country, America First, viable, electable, Trump-supporting candidates, and I promise that. I'm not done. I believe here's our strategy and our plan that is very feasible, doable. Every candidate, and I know you're watching this right now, there's probably 3 watching this right now, needs to consider signing a Patriot Pledge. By X day before a primary, whoever has highest fundraising, highest polling, highest donor donations, and will agree to X amount of debates so the constituents have time to learn from the very people that want to represent them, that by that date, the candidates who do not meet those stipulations will graciously bow out and will throw their support behind that top-tier candidate. And I'm calling this the Patriot Pledge. So, and imagine, what does it say about candidates who don't sign the pledge? I think that will tell us a lot. If there's a pledge out there and they refuse, which means that are they going to, and I'm going to say it, let first candidate replace America First candidate. So does that sound reasonable? Does that sound doable? Excellent. Does that answer your question? Okay, last question to Mr. Josh, our volunteer.
So, been doing some research ever since I knew that you were coming. That we found that Gen Z spends about 80% of their time on social media.
Yes.
We also have very big statistics of millennials going. If we are going to, as conservatives, target this younger voting bloc so that we can really affect the conservative movement and push this forward, we have a massive movement and an exodus away from traditional social media right now. What do you say to the conservatives that are going to places like Telegram and Parler where these other, this younger voter bloc may not be? Because
great question.
It seems to me that if we are going to target these people, it's not just going to be on the front lines. We have to be in social media, and we have to remain in that presence and fight against all of this. And to do that, we have to stand our ground. So what do you say to the conservatives?
Oh, I got something to say, Joshua. I got a lot to say. I'm a Texan now. So, I agree with you. Listen, I sometimes, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to tell the truth to you. I'm a straight shooter. I sometimes have to censor my language because censoring my language means that I'm able to stay in the game and I'm able to stay on social media platforms. You can tailor your message to still get it out there and be conservative, but remember, not everybody feels or thinks or is wired the same way you are. That's number one. Tailor your message, stay in the game. I'm still on Twitter, I'm still on Facebook, I'm still on Instagram, knock on wood, and I'm going to continue to remain on there because I don't want to be in an echo chamber, even though you're wonderful, I love you. But I want to talk to more than just you. I want to talk to independents. I want to talk to Democrats. I want to talk to young voters. And I had this voter in Illinois. He comes up to me. He goes, Scott, I was a Bernie Sanders supporter, and you were one of those blue check marks, and I followed you because you were one of the top conservatives. He goes, I want to let you know that you're a part of the reason why today I'm a conservative. Over time, my messages were able to penetrate. My messages were able to get in even the mind of a Bernie Sanders supporter. So we need to stay on everything. I believe very much like energy. We need an all-of-the-above energy approach. We need an all-of-the-above social media approach. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, Parler, Gab, email, Clout Hub, TikTok, MeWe. That's 10 right there. I mean, gosh, it's going to take an hour just to post a sentence on there, but you guys need to be on everything. And think about AOC for a second. I give AOC big credit. I don't agree with, but she's used sources of technology to reach the youth. And think about it. Why do you think I do the weird stuff that I do? Going out with a sign on my back? They probably think I'm weird as all heck. But I got their attention. In today's society, we are also busy, stressed. We have families. We have businesses. Oh my gosh. But they go, did I just see a long-haired, flowing, locked guy with the Trump sign on his back picking up trash at the same time as he's going? They're going to go, I want to go talk to him. So do something different while you're getting your message out. And with that being said, I want to do one last thing before we go. I'm going to stand on stage, and I want all of you to please rise. And I'm going to take one of my famous Scott Presler videos, with your permission, if that's okay. So may I please ask everybody to rise. Please stand up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say very loud. I mean like obnoxiously loud. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. And after I do that, I want you guys cheersing. And I want you applauding. And I want energy and passion and excitement. And a few yeehaws. You can do that too. I want the Democrats next door after I 1, 2, 3 to hear us. Okay? So hold, please. Oh, I got it. 1, 2, 3! Okay, so I'm officially done. What we're going to do is if you would like a picture with me, I would like you to please form a line here, and I will meet with every single one of you. I don't care if it's midnight, and I will stay until I meet every single person. So you may come. How are you?
Well, there you have it. Typical Scott Presler. A lot of energy, a lot of emotion when it comes to politics, passion, serving the community. He is all about making a difference in the community. If you're just now joining us, welcome. We have been live from League City, Texas, just south of Houston in the Galveston County area for Scott Presler. You want to get involved in politics, Boot Camp 101, and we're so glad that you have joined us. I want to apologize for a little bit of audio problems in the very beginning of this broadcast as we were trying to work out the technical difficulties. He had some Wi-Fi issues here in the building and that affected a little bit of our audio, so we certainly apologize for that. But we're back, and I hope that you were able to take something away from all of this. It's all about community service. It's all about doing what we can to make our country as great as possible. And of course, he follows up on the Make America Great Again, putting America first. And as he said a little bit in this presentation, that he is not just a Republican. He wants to put America first. So no matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat or independent, if you don't put America first, he definitely wants to come after you in the primaries. And that is a little bit of his objective when it comes to politicians that he will get behind. So community service, putting America first, and getting out to vote. You know, he showed several examples of people who you might traditionally think would not be a Republican if you simply saw them based upon appearance only. And he showed examples of people that you might not think they were. Come to find out, they voted for Donald Trump. So we cannot judge any book by its cover, as there are many people in our society that could possibly be a conservative and you just don't know it. I'm going to step aside, take a look and see if we can see if Scott's taking some pictures of in the back with supporters. He's been very open about being such a grassroots organization, of him going across America. He was in Beaumont, Texas yesterday. Today he's in Galveston County. Tomorrow he is off in Houston, right off of Westheimer in the heart of Houston, so he'll be there tomorrow. That start, once again, is a 7 p.m. start like it was here tonight. Also, on a programming note, we are off to California this weekend in support of the recall for Gavin Newsom. We'll be in San Francisco at City Hall, and then once again at Sacramento at the state capitol to support the efforts there. So please join us. Scott will be there as well as one of the speakers. That coverage is on Saturday and Sunday. But before that, we're off to the great state of New York. We'll post up some details about that segment as we get closer to Friday. It's the first time we've been in that state, I believe, so it ought to be a very historical moment as well as very exciting times. I'm trying to see if I can talk to some people. You mind taking a few moments to talk about your thoughts? Let's see if we get right up. I'll just talk about your thoughts here tonight. Scott Presler, I mean, he's a performer, right? And he's very passionate about what he does.
I've known Scott since he began here. I don't know the year, about 2014, I think, yeah.
He definitely makes a difference in the communities that he serves. So what's your takeaway from all of this, and what are you hoping when people leave here tonight, what do?
They help. Can't get anybody to help. Yeah. I hope they help.
Yep. All right. Well, we got to keep.
I like you guys too.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We got to keep Texas red here, and of course today is Texas Independence Day. So what a fitting moment that he's here in the great state of Texas. Hey, also, if you would, we talked about we're viewer supported from people like yourself. So if you would please go to our website, rsbnetwork.com/donate. rsbnetwork.com/donate, and just give what you can and help us out as we take on a new chapter in this company. You know, we're known for the rallies. We're known for covering all the Trump rallies and really showing you things that no other network has wanted to show. I mean, the crowds, whenever Trump would say the crowds in the back, turn off the red lights. Well, guess what? Our red lights never stopped blinking. We recorded on everything. And of course, post-election, all the coverage that we're doing right now, we cannot do this without you. We are one of the few conservative online news outlets that are trying to do everything we can to bring the coverage to you and do it in a way that keeps us protected from big tech, because there are certain things that we can't talk about online, over the air right now. So we are doing our best to bring you all the content. And also, if you missed the announcement, and I did an interview with Mike Lindell from MyPillow, you can go back on our social media pages and our YouTube account and watch that video. And we tried to clarify exactly why we muted his mic during CPAC. It's not that we are trying to suppress any information coming out. We're just trying to do our best to tiptoe around big tech and stay active in bringing all this information to you, because we all know that this is our outlet right now. We've been serving you guys for 5+ years now, and we will continue to serve the people of this great country and bringing you the truth as much as we can during these volatile times. All right, I'm going to step aside one last time. Take a look at the crowd. Take a look at the people. Hopefully, if you watch this tonight, you will feel inspired to go out and make a difference in this world. If you want Scott Presler's website, it's scottpresler.org, and that's SCOTTPRESLER.org, scottpresler.org. He is off on the road to other cities, so perhaps he might be going to a city near you. Definitely check it out. The program's about an hour and 20 minutes, so it's not a very long, drawn-out presentation. He's very animated. He's got a great personality, and I think you'll leave any Scott Presler event super energized and excited. Before we leave, you were the first person that I saw when we walked in here. Did Scott Presler deliver just what you wanted him to do?
He was awesome. He was amazing, inspirational. He's inspiring on Twitter, Instagram, you name it, but seeing him in person is really good. If you have the opportunity, get out there. And
I love the way he gives examples of how you approach people for the first time. He is not shy. Matter of fact, we bumped into him earlier at Starbucks, and one of the first things he asked my son was, are you registered to vote, your current address? And that's what it was. It wasn't how are you doing, it's are you registered to vote, your current address?
Definitely taught you some new things, or maybe not new, or just new ways of thinking of things, new ways of asking.
Now, what do you think about Texas? During the election, there was so much rumors that Texas was going to go purple, that, for some reason, it's kind of like when Beto ran back against Ted Cruz. The Beto buzzsaw, it was told that, constantly was told that Texas is going to Beto. Well, Texas is not going red, but we got to do everything to keep it red.
No, we definitely have to make sure that people are informed and know what's going on. Yeah. And I think that's a problem in today's society, is that people listen to one side and they don't do any research.
Yeah. And as far as social media, go beyond the headlines on things and read stories and get active.
Oh, I get stuff all the time where it makes somebody that I don't appreciate look bad, but I go do the research and make sure that it's true or not. People can look bad on their own.
Yeah, there you go.
We don't need to.
Yeah. Okay, so big takeaway here is just do something. Don't just say something and say, what can I do? There's plenty somebody can do.
If all of us reach out to one person, that's one more.
Yep. Well, God bless. Have fun tonight. Nice meeting you. Hey, I know you were saying that we love Right Side. If you guys want to come on in real quick, everybody, here, you guys come on in. I want to meet you guys. Come on.
Can I say hi to my Patriot text group?
There you go. They're watching us right now.
Help my sanity during this whole time.
Well, you know what? You need a support group a lot of times in politics to stay super calm throughout all of this, and I think faith has a lot to do with it as well. Yes. But yeah, shout out to your text group. Yes. And keep fighting through, right?
Yeah, and we appreciate all you're doing too, and all Right Side Broadcasting and the other networks. Am I allowed to say them?
Well, there's a few other conservative networks. That we really appreciate, and we all, and actually, believe it or not, a lot of us do. I know that there's a couple networks, one in particular, when I was at the White House, that did a lot to help us with getting information and things like that. And that's what we got to do, because at the end of the day, you've got a small select of media outlets versus the world.
Right.
I mean, that's,
Yeah, well, no, we definitely need to be informed. That's the biggest thing I've learned. I was always like the polite, respectful Republican.
Yeah.
Until 2008, when I decided that my silence was never going to be perceived as agreement.
Yeah, I think the silence has got to end. Before Republicans, politicians, all of us would really give in to the pushback that we got from the left. We were afraid to fight back. And fight back, I'm not talking literally fight back, because those words might incite something. But, we didn't stand up for what we believed, and we let people push us around.
Definitely. I mean, it's definitely, and I think if anything that we've learned and what's come good out of this, and I'm not trying to be Pollyanna, but if anything that's come good out of this is that people are really getting outspoken and want to be heard and recognizing it's like, no, we've got to take our country.
Yeah.
And, we're proud Americans, and we want election integrity. We want non-censorship.
Yeah. America first.
America first.
America first. Well,
I'm
thank
proud
you
to be
so
American.
much. We're proud to be. Thank you
You're
for
my new
coming.
friend now.
Absolutely. Make sure you're following us. All right. Also, before we go, I want to give a shout out to Mike Lindell. You know, he has been fighting cancel culture probably since the first time he met with President Trump. At that time, candidate Trump. So if you want to help him and you end up helping us at the same time, go to his website, mypillow.com, and shop away. We talked to a lady earlier. I asked her if she had a pillow. She said, I have several. I asked her if she had a pet. She said, yes. Do you have a dog bed? She said, yes. I said, great. So buy a pillow, buy a dog bed, buy some sheets, buy some mattress toppers. They have it all there at mypillow.com. And of course, you go there right now and put in the promo code RSBN and check out. You'll get up to 66% off. So you like to save money, you can go do it right now at mypillow.com. Promo code RSBN. And portion of those proceeds goes right here to Right Side Broadcasting to help us do just what we're doing today. Well, that just about wraps it up here in League City in Galveston County. For Scott Presler, we appreciate your time tonight. Until next time, goodbye, God bless from League City, Texas, and happy Texas Independence Day, everybody. We'll see you later.